it's a massive game of pride.
What a derby debut!
The Horn is now covering the World Game.
The buzz starts straight away. I mean, this is the be-all and end-all.
They could turn defeat into humiliation here.
And it's Derby Day in Manchester.
It's our time, it's City's time now.
Oh, it's a goal from Edin Dzeko.
Everyone's happy if United win on Derby Day.
Chance for Fletcher. Still, it's a goal.
We're going to beat them.
United's going to win 3-0, mate.
I think it'll be close. Hoping City will win.
A day to forget for Sir Alex Ferguson.
90 minutes to put it all on the line.
What a precious goal it could be! It's brilliant play. That's a truly wonderful goal.
I want to give the Man United fans something to smile about when they're going into work on Monday morning.
Welcome to the throw-in. From England to Brazil, Germany to Argentina, Madrid to Monaco, we've got you covered. Now live from Fado Irish Pub, here are your hosts, Garrett Green, Justin Simmons, and Kit McConaughey.
Oh, welcome in on a rather miserable Saturday morning. We are live here at Fado Irish Pub, and you know why we're out here this morning, and it's what you heard in the background there, and you heard in our intro this morning. It is Derby Day, Manchester United and Manchester City. We're glad to have you alongside today. Garrett Green, Justin Simmons wearing the wrong color jersey today. Kit McConaughey sitting in the middle here. Charlie Day's our on-site producer, and, of course, Zach Christo with that wonderful intro back in the studio. And, guys, we're going to get into our preview for the Manchester Derby today. Obviously, we're going to be talking USA-Mexico. That's coming up this week. We'll have Barcelona. Are they losing their top spot in the place in La Liga? We'll see about that. And, of course, Champions League returns this week. And also, Justin and I have a friendly wager going on.
Oh, it's a gentleman's agreement.
It is a gentleman's agreement.
There's nothing friendly or gentleman's about this agreement.
I'll tell you what. I'll just say this. It involves body paint and a song. So we'll get into that a little bit later. We want you to join our conversation today. You can send us a text at 512-337-3776 on the Specs text line, or give us a call, 512-447-3766. And we want you to come down to Fado. They've got great brunch specials going on. $4 Irish coffees, $3 mimosas, $3 Bloody Marys. Everybody getting pumped for the Manchester Derby. That'll get going right after we wrap up today.
If you're able to finish all three, is that the treble?
I think so. We've also got stuff to give away out here, and we're doing a drawing for MotoGP tickets after our show wraps up. We've got some for today's race, so if you come on down, put your name in the box. We'll go ahead and give those away a little bit later. But, guys, we have to start right here in Austin. We have the Austin Aztecs right in our own backyard. They played last night against Arizona United, a 1-0 loss, and we'll get into the game a little bit later. But we're very fortunate that we're joined right now here at Fado by the CEO of the Austin Aztecs. It is Rene Van de Zande. Did I get that right, Rene?
That's perfect
pronunciation. All right, fantastic. Rene, thanks so much for coming out this morning and spending a couple of minutes with us here at Fado. We really appreciate it. And I want to start off by asking, what have you seen so far out of the team this year? What do you like about the first year that you guys are in the USL right now?
Well, yeah, I'd like to stress first here, and you see that every now and then, depending which game we're playing. But overall, we're very happy where we are, but there's still a few ways to go. So, which is very common in the league we are playing, USL. Many new teams, even the more traditional teams that have been part of it for quite a few years. Every year they start over again. Many new players, many new contracts. So every game in the beginning is kind of a wait and see, and I think what we're going to see, particularly in the first 5 to 10 games, the ones that are peaking early are the ones that really got it together, that are glued well, playing as a team, and they got their first 11, and that's not where the Aztecs are right now. So.
Rene, talk to us a little bit about the differences. This club moving up a level now in USL as opposed to USL PDL 2013 champions in that league, and obviously you go up a level, it comes with some difficulties, some growing pains, and the Aztecs experiencing a few of those.
Yeah, I don't call them growing pains. I find them very pleasurable because they are very common, and I think all the teams have them. So it's not just us. So I don't want to use it as an excuse. So I think we're doing exactly what we're planning to do. We have a deep roster, great talent, young. We have guys from abroad, and then we have some diehard players from USL. So I think we have a nice mix. But we still need to try to figure out how we're going to glue this team together. And don't forget, we're only 2 months into it. This is our 4th game, 2 or 3 at home, or 2 at home. We lost, unfortunately, but we had 1 win. The first one, that was a good opener. We did extremely well in Tulsa last week, so I think we're going to do well, I think, early when we're playing away.
Rene, could you talk to the fans out there that maybe are just listening to us for the first time and haven't been to an Aztecs game yet? What exactly you and the ownership group plan to put on the pitch for the remainder of the season and in the future here in Austin, Texas?
Yeah, well, obviously, I think Paul Douglas, our head coach, has done a tremendous job selecting this exciting team. So it's critical we do well on the pitch, and we need to show that it is an exciting part of soccer. When I watched the Austin Aztecs 1-0, I was kind of one of those European snobs, watching soccer, and then you come here in this country and think, oh, you fall asleep. And I was so pleasantly surprised already then to see this game going live and see it in House Park where we currently are playing. And it's quite exciting. And I was, as I said, very, very, very pleasantly surprised on the quality. And that quality over the last 5 to 7 years only has increased. So I think people here in town, particularly those that love the English Premier League and been watching soccer for a long time, they should come out and support the local team and soccer in the U.S. in general. So.
Rene, you mentioned House Park, that wonderful historic venue, and you guys have done some renovations, improved it, and we talk about the seat backs, a great job on both sides, and all the new things, the food trucks, the beer garden, and just a great atmosphere for friends, for family, everyone to show up and watch the Aztecs, but a few other things to do at the same time.
Absolutely, and even I have difficulties leaving the beer garden, so because it's such a nice new thing, and we all know that it is part of a sport, particularly soccer. So without beer, it's hard to grow the fan base. There you go.
Still got the band on.
I hope you did take a shower, though.
Yes, I did. Got to be clean for the win today.
But I think those changes, compared to those fans that did come to House Park when we were playing PDL, I think they've seen those changes, and I think the fan experience as a result has increased, and that's what we need to do to lure more people to the stands, and we'll do so throughout the season.
Well, Rene, you said recently in an article that was in Texas Monthly that you guys are all about growing the grassroots fan base here in the Austin area, and obviously looking towards the future down the line, having an eye on the MLS. We'll talk about that in just a minute, but what do you see so far? How is that grassroots campaign coming along through the ownership's eyes here in Austin?
There's still a lot to be done, but that's all we knew that all from the get-go. MLS is something that is in the future. It's hard to tell how far it's going to be, but for us as a front office and as a club, we're just trying to build it. Every year we hope to improve. This season we hope we're going to have a few sellouts. That is one of our goals. Now, whether it's going to be next week or it's going to be towards the end of the season, we'll see what happens. But no, we have a lot of confidence that this city is absolutely suitable for a major league sport, and soccer, I think, is the best choice. But for us, it's our role and responsibility to put a good product on the field, and then have that game experience, looking at a stadium for the future, because sustainability of any USL franchise will require a good stadium to have in the future.
Rene Van de Zande, the CEO of the Austin Aztecs. I was watching Don Garber's announcement that Minnesota United will be moving up, the newest MLS team, and everything he was saying about the Twin Cities, he may well have been speaking about Austin, talking about the young demographic, the people there, the city embracing soccer, and you really believe that this is the city, this is the future for not only this team, but to grow, to continue to be the professional team of the city of Austin.
Yeah, for sure. The criteria is all there. So there's no excuse on that end. But, I firmly believe, and I think the overall ownership believes, that we need to build this up very slowly and surely and have that strong fan base. And that's also in the eyes of MLS. I think, yes, we meet everything, but we don't have a stadium yet, so that's one. And secondly, we don't have the fan base yet to bring it up to a level. And that's what we're all about. That is going to take a little bit of time, and that's what we're doing.
But the right step was moving in the direction, moving up a level. Would you agree with that? I would assume so.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you cannot play PDL to build the fan base. So this was a necessary step, and we opted to stay within USL versus NASL. As you know, there are these kind of
there was a chance to cross over, wasn't there?
That was definitely a possibility, which we never exclude from happening. But we were part of the USL family, and then all the developments that has happened with the relationship between USL and MLS, where we have this affiliation, or MLS moving or having their own franchise within USL. So that has been that became a no-brainer for us to stay within USL.
I know you're very excited with that relationship, your affiliation with Columbus Crew SC. Kalen Ryden down here on loan from the Crew SC, and doing a fantastic job on that back line. Speaking with Crew SC head coach Greg Berhalter at the ATX Pro Challenge, he said he was thrilled to pair with the Austin Aztecs because you guys have a reputation for developing talent. Talk about Kakuta Mena up with Vancouver Whitecaps, the number 2 overall pick in this year's MLS Super Draft. Our hometown product, Kyrie Shelton, now absolutely destroying things up for NYCFC. And, well, Paul and his staff, that's what they do. They develop players. They send them to the next level where they succeed.
Yeah, part of the Austin kind of DNA and our mission to definitely be that development club, and that fit very well in the relationship with Major League Soccer. So that's why Greg was very happy with us.
Absolutely, and saying as much, happy to be paired, looking for guys to go up to Columbus, guys coming down. Obviously, we talked about Kalen Ryden down here, and there'll be a few more, I have a feeling, making their way back and forth as the season progresses.
Yeah, that may well happen, although we have that very deep roster. So from the get-go, we decided we don't want to be dependent on an affiliate or an MLS club, but so far it's been a good relationship.
Well, Rene, we have a worldwide audience, as you can find us on SoundCloud, on YouTube, and surprisingly, a lot of our fans are from the Netherlands. So if we can use some of your background here and maybe say hello to our fans that are located in the Netherlands, maybe with a little introduction or a little hello.
And you guys will never know what I said. So you take a huge risk. So
we have Google Translate. It's 2015. We can figure it out.
So there you go. Sure, you want me to say hi to...
Absolutely.
Yeah, please.
Nou, goedemorgen vanuit een beetje bewolkt Austin. Maar ik kan... Mijn mede-Nederlanders kan ik heerlijk vertellen dat de sport in dit land is aan het groeien. Ik ben heel plezierig verrast dat zelfs Nederlanders luisteren naar deze radiostation. En bij deze nodig ik jullie allemaal uit om naar Austin te komen voor heel veel andere redenen. Want het is een prachtige stad. Maar kom zeker naar voetbal kijken. Al mijn vrienden uit Nederland die hebben al een ticket besteld. Dus ik hoop jullie hier te zien.
I second that. Thank you.
Right. Yes.
That sounded good.
Look absolutely.
There
we
go.
There he is. He is the CEO of the Austin Aztecs. He is Rene Van de Zande. Rene, thanks so much for taking a couple of minutes of your time and dropping by this morning to visit with us.
Thank you, guys.
All right, there he is.
You.
All right, we're going to go ahead and step aside for just a minute. We have a scoring update in the Chelsea QPR game. We'll get to that on the other side. USA-Mexico preview, Barcelona Champions League preview, and, of course, the Manchester Derby. All that coming up. We're live here at Fado on the throw-in. Come down and see us in downtown Austin on 4th Street between Lavaca and Colorado. Here on the Horn, this is where Austin talks sports.
Here's what's going on in the soccer fan's head. Our goalie, he's going to save the day. Yeah, he's going to guess which way the angry Italian man's going to kick it. He's going to dive that way. He's going to block the shot. We're going to win the game. Yeah. And then they fall down drunk and the stands catch on fire. I don't know how that happens.
Welcome back to the throw-in. Now live from Fado Irish Pub. Here are your hosts, Garrett Green, Justin Simmons, and Kip McConico.
All right, welcome back. We are live at Fado, as you just heard there. Fado Irish Pub, getting ready for Manchester United and Manchester City coming up at 10 o'clock. Good showing by the Austin Red Devils this morning, and we'll get into our preview a little bit later. Want to remind you, you can stay in touch with us. You can send us a message. We've now got a Facebook account. Find us there, The Throw-In.
Yep, /The Throw-In.
Go in and listen to us on SoundCloud. We'll have our interview with Rene up there, as well as the entire show. Any of our previous interviews, we've had Austin Aztecs head coach Paul Dalglish. We've had Chris Tierpak, former USL Player of the Year. All those interviews up on SoundCloud. Just search for The Throw-In. Guys, the big match that's coming up this week, middle of the week, USA-Mexico, and it's right in our own backyard down in San Antonio. Now, I was foolish and didn't get on it and buy tickets to that match well out in advance, but I know that both of you guys are going to be there this week for that match. What are you expecting, really, first out of the environment there in the stadium?
Oh, it's going to be absolutely electric. USA-Mexico sold out in just about 10 days, 65,000 plus down at the Alamo Dome, and well, make no mistake about it, this is going to be a home game for Mexico. It is going to be very difficult for the USA. They'll have fans there, the Crocketeers, Eberle's Army. They will be representing for the red, white, and blue. But It's going to be tough. Mexico and USA, they're predominantly going with home teams. USA going to play a lot of MLS, a lot of Liga MX guys. Mexico, they're going to do the same. They're going to play a lot of local talent. Friendly in name only. Anytime these two teams get together, it is a grudge match. But I think it should be a good match. These are pretty evenly matched teams, both looking forward toward the Gold Cup this summer. And Mexico a bit to prove. Costa Rica kind of threatening Mexico for the top dog spot in CONCACAF, and Mexico, well, they need to come back and show that they're still the big dogs in our region.
And that's going to be tough because this game is not it's not on the FIFA calendar, so a lot of those Mexicans in Europe won't be coming over to play, so you probably won't see Chicharito. It actually works out well, though, for the United States because a lot of those players that are going to be playing in this game do play in the MLS, and this year we just happen to have a lot of our U.S. men's national team players playing in MLS. So, expect to see Michael Bradley out there trying to get him into form. I'm really hoping that he does turn things around here lately. But like Kit said, I'm expecting Thunderdome. It's going to be widespread chaos. It's going to just be a madhouse, but it's going to be a predominantly pro-Mexican crowd. I mean, like you said, Everly's Army's going to be out there, the Crocketeers will be out there, the rest of the American Outlaws will be out there, and we're all going to be having a great time. I know because I'm going as a fan, not as part of the media, and I'm going to bring the noise and bring the pain as much as I can. But it's going to be a great match, and I'm thinking that the United States is going to take it. We haven't lost to Mexico in the last 4 or 5 games.
Well, it's going to be a great game, and as you said, not being played on an international fixture date, meaning the European-based players like Fabian Johnston, DeAndre Yedlin, Timmy Chandler, they're not forced to be released by their clubs. We're going to see some younger players, but the big question for the USA, who's going to get to start at right back? Personally, I think it's going to be Michael Orozco. Young man has done very well playing in Liga MX. He's playing against some of the better attacking players, knows the guys he's going to be going up against. But as always, the question for the U.S., it's on the back line. Who can they put in there for more than 1 or 2 games at a time? Who can actually make that spot their own?
Hey, that back line has really been an issue for this team. And Justin has talked us off the ledge a couple of times, especially after the last few friendlies that the United States has had. But, guys, the question isn't can this team get a lead? The question is can they hold on to a lead? And whenever you're playing essentially a road game, even though you're down here in Texas against Mexico, a team that, like Justin said, you've had success against, it's a friendly in name only, but how much does it mean for the U.S. that they have to come away with a win in this match?
This game, they got to win. They need to win. Finally, they need to show it.
Justin is finally on our side.
They have to be able to technically protect their home turf. And I know that San Antonio isn't exactly a home venue for the U.S. men's national team, but they have to play well. Again, they're not going to have Josie Altidore for this match because of the suspension, but I expect the front line, we have been able to score goals in Europe. They should be able to continue that scoring streak here. Again, the last time we've lost to Mexico was in that 2011 CONCACAF the Gold Cup final. That means that Jurgen Klinsmann, that's the game that Bob Bradley was fired as head coach. Klinsmann has not lost to Mexico. I don't think that's going to happen this Wednesday.
No, it's a huge match. USA, every time they play Mexico, they want to win. But this match more important than, I think, some previous matches against El Tri because of the U.S. recent poor run of form. And as you said, they've gotten ahead in games, but they've been unable to hold on to victories. And it's one thing to get ahead; it's quite another thing to get the full 3 points or the W, whatever the case may be. The U.S., they've got to figure something out, and it starts in that back line. They can score goals; that's not the issue. Conceding goals, that's something else.
Guys, I just want to point out something really quick. You know how awesome this is that we're discussing the fact that the United States should win against Mexico. If you would have been saying this even 2 decades ago, a decade ago, you would have called us crazy. But now we expect it. That's how much this game has risen.
I said it last week on the show. The United States will win a World Cup before either Mexico or England, and that I promise.
I mean, I don't think saying that they're going to win one before England is that much of a stretch at this point, but it is interesting. And Justin, you touched on it, and it's something that
don't break those Harry Kane fans' hearts.
It's something that you mentioned kind of in passing, and I think it's a headline that pops out to people who are casual fans of the game, and it's the fact that one of the more well-known names, Josie Altidore, isn't going to be playing because of that red card that he picked up in the last match. I know you said that they should still be able to score goals, but how much will that impact this game?
It's going to impact the game a lot. He has some size that really causes some problems, especially for the Mexicans in their back line. I mean, they're still trying to figure things out there, too. Altidore was in good form, especially for the U.S. national team. I know he was playing well with Toronto, but that whole team just hasn't gelled in MLS either. But losing Josie Altidore in this contest, I was really hoping that he was going to be there just because he's been in such great form as of late.
No, I'd say the USA is certainly the favorite. It's going to be a tough game, but as long as Mexico can't figure out a way to naturalize Nicholas Bentner between now and Wednesday,
oh, man.
I think the U.S. men's national team should be all right.
Yeah, well, we'll talk a little bit more about Bentner later on in the show. Had a great showing for Aston Villa this week, and we'll get into a little bit of Premier League. Want to hear your thoughts? You can send us a text on the Specs text line at 512-337-3776, or you can come on down. We're here at Fado Irish Pub, broadcasting live, getting you set for Manchester United and Manchester City. And guys, just one final note on this matchup that's coming up on Wednesday afternoon. I guess I'll just ask you guys, final score predictions. What do you see out of this match?
Oh, United States gets their first clean sheet of this 2015. Wow. 3-0.
All right.
3-0 U.S.
Kit?
I think it's going to be close. It's going to be back and forth. USA by the smallest of margins, 2-1 to the red, white, and blue.
All right. Well, we'll see how it all turns out. That game is on Wednesday down at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, guys. First kick is at 7 that night, I believe.
I believe that's correct.
All right. Well,
I don't know. Get there early, party hard.
7:30 p.m. Central Time.
Just make sure you show up to the stadium. There'll be people walking. You'll know where to go.
Yeah, just find a way to stumble on into the stadium and everything will be fine. All right, well, we teased it before we went to break previously, and if you don't want to hear about live score updates, then you really probably shouldn't be listening to our show. But we'll give you a second to switch it off as we have an update. Chelsea and QPR, they have just wrapped up, and Chelsea coming away with a goal in the 87th minute to get a 1-0 win over QPR. And guys, as we talk a little bit about what else is happening in the Champions League, that's huge because Arsenal has been making this late charge, and the story with Chelsea is that they've always had a game in hand throughout the season. And coming away with a draw after Arsenal got 3 points yesterday would have been the last thing that the Blues needed.
Yeah, they definitely escaped a hard one here today because of all people to score a game-winning goal, I wouldn't think it was going to be Cesc Fabregas. But he got it through very late in the contest. And unfortunately for QPR, it's a very, that's the saddest part for me in this whole match is the fact that QPR lost because they're a very exciting team to watch. I love watching Bobby Zamora and Charlie Austin. And Austin, all he does is score goals. And he was very close today, but they just couldn't put anything on the board. And, another tough-fought game for Chelsea, and it was a well-deserved win for them.
Yeah, I think regardless of the result, Chelsea had the title, and Manuel Pellegrini, City's manager, saying as much, saying we threw it away, and they did. They had the opportunity to battle Chelsea to take this one deep into the season, unable to do so, and the Blues from London very close to picking up the EPL title.
Well, we'll talk more about what else is happening in the English Premier League. We'll also get into a little bit of Champions League play that returns. We'll talk a little La Liga. And, of course, we have your Manchester Derby preview coming up. That's why we're out here at Fado Irish Pub, getting ready for the match coming up at 10 o'clock. Go ahead and stay with us here on the throw-in on 104.9 The Horn. This is where Austin talks sports.
Think about this game that the whole world plays. The whole world plays this game. Most popular game. And in this game, you can only use your feet. This is the whole game. Maybe your head, but this is the whole game. And the rest of the world, they said, hey, that game we play where you only use your feet? Let's call it football. That makes sense. And then we said, you know what? Here's what we're going to do, actually. We have this other game where you use your hands. You catch it, you throw it. One guy kicks it sometimes. Yeah. We're going to call that football. And that game you guys play, I don't know. What do you wear on your feet? Socks? We'll call that soccer. How about...
It's Derby Day in Manchester. Which side are you on? Now back to Fado Irish Pub. Here are the guys from FC Cap City.
Oh, welcome back out to Fado Irish Pub. It is the throw-in here on Sunday morning. We are live at Fado. Garrett Green, Justin Simmons, Kit McConico, Charlie Day, our fantastic on-site producer, and, of course, Zach Christo back in the studio. I want you to go ahead and come on down here and see us at Fado. We're giving away MotoGP tickets. Just come by, write your name down. We'll draw for it afterwards, and you can be out at the race this afternoon. Cheap Trick is playing after the race is over. I think you could probably even stick around and watch the Manchester Derby this afternoon. Still make it out there in time to see the main race out there at MotoGP. I think there are 2 races that are going on starting at 2:30. So come on down and put your name in and let us know what you're thinking about the match this afternoon. We're getting you ready for Manchester United and Manchester City. It is the Manchester Derby. We're here at Fado, where there are quite a few Red Devils out here. Makes my heart very happy.
I spot one City fan.
I spot one who has come into the wrong bar. Our producer, Zach Christo, back in the studio. All right, guys, but before we get into our preview of the Derby, we're going to do a little segment we like to call Around the World.
It's time to go Around the World.
All right, guys, we'll go ahead and start this off with a little bit more of a conventional story. It's back. Champions League play returns this week. You get Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid, crosstown rivals, going against each other. We saw this one for the final last season. Madrid obviously taking that one over Atleti. But, guys, we were talking about it. Atleti not afraid of Real Madrid at all.
No, and that's all because of Cholo Simeone doing a fantastic job ever since taking over for Los Colchoneros. And, I mean, this squad just brimming with confidence like their coach. A lot of teams are afraid to play Real Madrid. They see the crest. They see those pretty white uniforms. Not the case with Atletico Madrid. And I think the boys from the other side of Madrid, they've got it. The Champions League, obviously a big match, but looking back to last year, the very disappointing defeat in the Champions League final to their crosstown rivals. I have a feeling it's going to go to Cholo Simeone's boys on Tuesday.
All right, Dustin.
Yeah, Atleti's been quite dominant against Real during La Liga play, during Spanish Cup play. But when it comes to Champions League, I mean, it's personal. They're looking for revenge. They should have won that game last season. They should have won it before it went into extra time. They were so close. And then it was just total, utter heartbreak right afterward. And again, Ronaldo, just been amazing. You saw him take that free kick yesterday. It was beautiful. He's been in terrific form. The BBC, they're back.
Yeah, they are. They absolutely are. All right, well, we want to go ahead and move through. Juventus taking on Monaco, defensive-minded contest there. Kit, what do you see out of this one? Tevez keep his form going for Juventus?
Yeah, all about La Vecchia Senora, the Bianconeri of Juve. They've got this one. Their South American strike force, Vidal, Pereira, and Tevez just absolutely tearing things up. They lost in Serie A action to Parma, but I don't think that'll affect them this week. They should advance quite convincingly, in my opinion.
Losing to bankrupt Parma is not going to affect them at all.
What Italian club isn't bankrupt?
Okay, this is true, but Parma's really, really broke. Like, they're going to probably get relegated regardless, but they're really broke. How could they lose? How could Juve lose to them?
Oh, things happen. Who knows?
All right. Well, moving on, PSG and Barcelona, one of the other matches that's coming up. But guys, the big news for PSG is the fact that they'll be without David Luiz on that back line. So look out. I'm sure that Messi and also
not just Luiz, they're also out with Ibrahimovic.
That's right. Yeah, and Ibrahimovic is out with the red that he drew. Well, by the way, we didn't even get around to that after that match happened. How atrocious giving a straight red to Ibrahimovic was in that matchup, and now it might cost him down the stretch here.
Yeah, poor call, absolutely, if you get the straight red to Zlatan. But that being said, Barca's going to advance through this one. Messi in great run of form. Dropped a few pounds after the World Cup. Disappointing. And a lot of people in Argentina giving him a hard time, saying that he didn't put the team on his shoulders the way he needed to, a la Maradona. Didn't win the Cup, obviously. Weren't able to bring it back to Buenos Aires. And Messi playing inspired. I think he's been affected by the criticisms, and he wants to do well this year. Saw what Real Madrid picked up their 10th Champions League title, the record last year. And Barca, anything Madrid does, Barca wants to equal or surpass.
Well, maybe if Higuain could put one on Frey, maybe Argentina wins that World Cup. That's for sure.
Those are fighting words, my friend.
It's true, though, man. Messi showed up. You know that for sure. But and he also showed up for Barcelona yesterday, scoring his 399th goal for the club. I really don't see PSG stopping them anytime soon.
Do they have any chance in this, even whenever they get back Ibrahimovic for that second
and you have to remember, we did count them out against Chelsea, too.
Oh, no. This is going to be a great game. I don't think Barca is going to walk through. I think Barca will advance. It's going to be difficult. PSG, they have to get a result at home in the Stade de France. If they draw or lose that match in France, no shot whatsoever.
I mean, Kit counted them out so much that he left the bar early and he missed out on PSG tying it up in extra time.
It's true.
How are you going to do that? All right, do we even need to talk about this? Bayern Munich and Porto.
Pep Guardiola. That's all you need to know, man. That guy's the best. He's the best in the business.
Yeah, Neuer, Schweinsteiger, no, just too much.
Cool. All right, well, there you go. There's your Champions League. Kit, you have a couple of stories for us from around the world?
Yeah, the infamous Diego Armando Maradona, and doing what he always does, finding himself in the headlines for inauspicious reasons, likening Louis van Gaal's treatment of Radamel Falcao Garcia to the devil, the way he was treating him, but Maradona always won for hyperbole. Maradona, well, at it again, being his usual joyous self, kicking a steward while participating in the match for peace. Only Maradona can be involved in a match for peace and somehow figure out a way to put violence into it.
That is insane. How's his managerial career worked out so far?
Pretty fantastic. You saw what he did with Argentina. Still don't understand why he was the coach. Argentina, one of the favorites, but put Maradona in charge, doesn't know what to do, and crashed out of the 2010 World Cup in South Africa.
The inmate was running the asylum on that squad, wasn't he, Kid?
Yeah, that's one of the things with Maradona. This match for peace taking place in Colombia on Friday, and you can check that out. Maradona getting very angry, walking off the field and lashing out, giving a quick kick to the steward. I think that was the only action he had of the ball game.
I imagine that a quick kick, though, from Maradona probably is one of the more painful things that you'll experience in your life, despite the fact that he's put on quite a few pounds since the last time that Argentina won the World Cup.
Yeah, you want to talk about a yo-yo diet, up and down goes Diego.
Oh, man. Well, also, guys, I was looking around, and I saw this on the BBC this week. Cambridge United is now having a problem with hooliganism again at their games, but it's not the younger generation. There are apparently 1980s hooligans that are coming out of retirement to recruit the younger generation to get into fights and get into their games. They said that there are problems that are breaking out at pubs around the area where hooligans who are in their 50s and 60s are causing problems. The old men wanting to hang on to that English tradition of football.
Hey, man, you only get more grumpy with age. I know I'm only like 30, and I feel it every now and then. It's like, I can get off my lawn. But, yeah, I mean, the English game really doesn't need that again. They already dealt with it once in the 80s. The English fans, they were not welcomed in Europe, to say the least. And because of that, I believe they lost 5 years of European qualification for their club teams because of that said hooliganism.
Speaking of English fans and players, the great Bobby Moore, born today in 1941, one of the legends of English football.
Wow, there you go. Happy birthday to him. All right, and guys, we'll talk a little more about some of the stories that are actually going on, and looking at the bottom of the Premier League, the fact that you take a look yesterday, Aston Villa picking up a win over Spurs, and that sets Spurs back further in the table. They now sit at 54 points, tied with Liverpool, tied for that sixth spot, actually, there in the table. But more importantly for Aston Villa, it's Tim Sherwood returning to the White Rose and White Hart Lane, excuse me, getting an opportunity to play there, coming away, getting a win against his former team, and also more importantly, the fact that down below them, Sunderland and Hull both lost. So Aston Villa making a little bit of a turn and fighting their way out of relegation down there at the bottom of Premier League.
Yeah, impressive play. Interesting relegation battle. QPR, Burnley both sitting on 26, Leicester with 25, Hull City just 2 points up with 28. As you said, well, Villa, that huge victory now out of the danger area with 32 points. So the real question, who goes down? Sunderland, Hull City, QPR, Burnley. Well, Leicester, it appears that Leicester City is going down, and it'll be two more of the four for me. Got to go with Burnley, and well, as I said last week, I think Sunderland, QPR, even though tough loss today, I think they're going to find a way to narrowly avoid going down.
I mean, they've been playing with such great form lately, even though they haven't come away with results. You have to figure that they're going to get enough points to work their way out of relegation down there in the bottom of the league.
What a great team to watch, just from a personal standpoint. They play an exciting brand of soccer, somebody you want to see stay up.
Yeah, they're a very fun team to watch. Charlie Austin, one of the best goal scorers in the Premier League, and that would be a team I would not want to see relegated. But talking about close races, we got to talk about what's happening in La Liga.
Absolutely.
I mean, Barcelona blowing that 2-0 lead that they had yesterday, and they ended up with only taking away a point. And then, again, the aforementioned Ronaldo and his great free kick that started off the scoring against Rayo Vallecano. That's where Real won that contest. So now there's only 2 points separating the two teams in La Liga playing on the way, going through the rest of the season. I mean, both teams can exchange some points. They don't have to play each other anymore. Of course, Barcelona holds the game in hand against them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was something that we talked about after El Clasico a couple of weeks ago, where it was the fact that, okay, now Barcelona has a 4-point lead in front of Real. You figure both teams are probably going to win out. And now with the fact that Barcelona stumbles, they only have that 2-point lead. You have to assume it makes every game down the stretch a must-win because you've got Madrid just chomping at your heels the entire way. So it'll be really intriguing to watch La Liga down the stretch and see who's able to come away with the title this season.
No, you said Barcelona, 2-point lead, sitting on 75 points, top of the table. And it's going to be an interesting position for the Blaugrana, who they're going to root for this weekend in Champions League, Atleti or Real Madrid. Obviously, they want Real Madrid to stay in Champions League, have to divide their focus between La Liga and Champions League. That being said, I think it's very difficult for any Barca fan, player, anyone associated with that great club to ever root for the Los Blancos.
Talking about Champions League, I know we're a couple of weeks out, but I kind of want to just get your take. So it's already been said, the CONCACAF Champions League final will be happening between Club America and the MLS's very own Montreal Impact. Now, Montreal has been atrocious in MLS, but when it's come to Champions League play, they have been pretty good. First game is at the Azteca against Club America, and you already saw what America did last time. Kit, what do you think is going to happen in this CONCACAF final?
Well, that's an interesting matchup, and first and foremost, hats off to Montreal Impact. They did an absolutely phenomenal job. No one saw them going past Alajuelense, went down to Alajuela, Costa Rica, got enough to advance in that one, and well, on the other hand, Club America, the Giants from Liga MX, they went down to Herediano 3-0 in the opening leg, came back in the Azteca and absolutely stomped the Costa Ricans 6-0 the final in that one. And obviously, being associated with the MLS, an MLS fan, I think everyone wants Montreal to win, but America, they are the big favorites in this one, especially with the opening leg at the monumental Estadio Azteca in Mexico City.
I mean, go figure, the MLS team that's going to reach the finals, it can't even be from America. They have to be the Canadian team. They
seems about right.
Yeah, it seems about right in this case. All right, well, that's how we go around the world. Guys, we're going to take one final break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about why all these wonderful people are out here at Fado this morning. It's the Manchester Derby, Man United and Man City
there's that
coming
blasted
up.
song again.
We've got our bet that we still have to go ahead and explain what Justin and I have on the line in this game. All our preview coming up here on the Throw-In on 104.9 The Horn.
The Horn is now covering the world's game, and it's Derby Day in Manchester. Which side are you on? Now back to Fado Irish Pub. Here are your hosts, Garrett Green, Justin Simmons, and Kit McConico.
All right, welcome back out here to Fado Irish Pub, where things are filling out nicely here on Derby Day. Great to see everybody out here. A reminder, come on down and see us here at Fado. We've got MotoGP tickets that we still have to give away, so if you want to get out and see the race later today, come on down. We're on the backstage in the back of the restaurant. Write your name down, drop it in the box. We've got MotoGP tickets to give away. But, guys, it's finally here. We've been waiting for this match for a while. And it is United and Manchester City. We're just about 12 minutes away from kickoff. And before we get into our preview, we have to let you know, okay, so Justin is foolishly wearing a Manchester City jersey today over on the other side of the stage. And I'm, of course, wearing my United jersey. So after much agreement last night, we finally came away with what our bet is going to be. Justin, do you want to explain this?
The bet? Okay, yes, the bet.
First and foremost, small children should probably cover their ears.
No. We kept it as PG as possible.
Yeah.
Basically, the loser will have to wear body paint on their chest with the other team's name in the other team's color, and then they're going to have to do the rap to the John Barnes part in the new world.
Love's got the world in motion. Yeah,
yes.
which I have to say, I still don't know, but that's
okay. I'll print out the lyrics
because
for you.
I don't have to know it because I know that United is going to win today. I made the bet without even worrying about it.
I know the form's looking good for United, and I will admit that Di Maria is actually playing well. Wayne Rooney looks like he came back from 2006 all of a sudden, and he's putting things in the back of the net, and De Gea has been in terrific form all season long. However, Joe Hart's in terrific form himself. He is the Messi killer. He, just wall-blocked Messi throughout Champions League. I know Kompany's coming in hurt. He is not fit. I do have some concerns of whether Aguero is going to actually score some goals today. That depends on service. Hopefully Silva can get the ball and start feeding him up front. I still think that City has a chance in this contest.
Well,
I'm going to go to the grave because it's City till I die, and I'm going to go to the grave believing that we have a chance today.
Well, you go ahead and keep thinking that.
song is horrible.
Oh, you gotta love it. All right, Kit, you are the only unbiased one here. Why don't you go ahead and let us know what you're thinking for today?
Yeah, it's going to be a fantastic match. City's captain and company turned 29 on Friday, and he hasn't been in a great run of form. Paired on the center back line with Dimichelis, well, the longtime player of my favorite club, River Plate in Argentina, and I don't think River Plate would take him back currently.
There's your River Plate mention for the day by Kit McConico.
That being said, your obligatory River mention. But looking at this match objectively, I think United just in a better run of form right now. The Chilean manager Pellegrini said it. They gave away the league at the end of 2014. They were in Champions League. They were top of the table in the EPL, and things have gone downhill quickly for the guys from the blue side of Manchester. That being said, I think United, they've played better. You mentioned Rooney, you mentioned some of the other guys, and we'll see what happens. But Wayne Rooney steps up big in big matches, and this is one of the biggest for any Red Devil.
Big players make big plays in big matches. I believe that was a John Madden quote.
Should we talk about the World Cup in England here when we're talking about Wayne Rooney? Yeah, because it hasn't happened yet for the national team.
Yeah, that's a good point. You know what, though? We have our thoughts on it, but why don't we hear from the man in charge of Manchester United, Louis van Gaal, with his thoughts on the Manchester derby, something that he's obviously new to this season.
Of course, you want to win, and because it is a big step in the table also. When you win, the third place is then reachable, and a month ago nobody was thinking about that, besides me, of course. But
well, there.
I don't get it. How come we had two Dutch people on this show today? One, Mr. Van de Zande, very pleasant, and Van Gaal always so, it looks like he's always been rubbed the wrong way.
I don't know.
That's a very good question.
I don't know.
I can't answer that. My only question is how many times is Van Gaal going to slap Giggsy this afternoon? That's the real question.
You got to love the made-up rivalry that they put between those two guys. But it's interesting because looks like Giggs is maybe got the inside track to take over whenever Van Gaal probably leaves in the next couple of years. He's said that this is probably his last stop that he's going to make. He's got grandchildren that he wants to spend time with. But he's got a taste for the derby, and he's looking for his first win today after, obviously, City's 1-0 victory that came back in November.
Talking about jobs, Kit, I want to know your take on this. If Pellegrini doesn't win this match today, do you think his tenure in City is over?
He could very well be done. They're not going to fire him with just a few weeks left. That being said, the Chilean, he's admitted as much that their season went into the garbage. City is a team with...
Yeah, it's been disappointing. I will admit
who knows how much money they can go out and have their pick of different managers, quality managers. But consistency is the thing with a manager. United had all their success under Sir Alex Ferguson. It wasn't because they were having different managers, because they had someone, kept him in power, gave him some time to develop, and success came. But in modern football, it's a business. People want success overnight. They want their team to be better today than they were last game. And that's not always the case. Personally, I think that City should keep Pellegrini. He's done a very good job. He needs some help. They need some defensive reinforcements. But if he loses today, I have a feeling the Chilean will not be back there at the Etihad next year.
Well, I do agree with you. I think they really do need to win this game today. I want them to win this game today. I mean, even wearing my sky blue, does it look possible? It's going to be difficult.
Well, Justin, on your behalf, the one thing that City always has that Manchester United does not, Sergio El Kun Agüero. And anytime you have Agüero, who's almost a lock to put the ball in the back of the net every time he steps out on the pitch, well, he can change the game very quickly.
Obviously, Agüero coming away with the goal. That was the difference in that game, which, remember, United was playing a man down in that match after about the 33rd minute. And they were also in about a poor run of form as they'd had all season long.
Any win against United, it's a good win.
So,
talking about wins, last four games, we have 4 wins in a row. We've been undefeated in 5 in a row against United. You guys haven't beat us since 2009. Do you think today is going to be the day?
Yeah, I really do. And it's adorable that you mentioned the fact that they've won 4 straight, because guess what? In the history of this rivalry, Manchester City has never won 5 straight games. And I went back and looked at it. The last time that City put together 4 straight wins was back in 1954 and 1955. And then what happened in 1955 in the second half of it all the way through 57? Oh, that's right. Manchester United rolled off 5 straight wins against City. And I think that it starts today. United's going to come away with
but just in preparation for this game, I went back to 1974. I know you probably don't know too much about 1974, but let me fill you in on a guy named Dennis Law. Now, he was a United great. He played for United for a very long time, but he went over to City And United was in the midst of relegation. You know what Dennis Law did? He turned around like a cold-blooded assassin and put it in the back of the net, and City wins 1-0. You know what happens to Manchester United that day? They get relegated. I think we're going to have another miracle today. City just breaks the heart.
That is what it is going to take in this match, in my personal opinion, is a miracle based on the run of form that United has had lately.
They played the best they have in the past year and a half. City, conversely, they're slumping right now, not playing well, and it's a tough time. And see a lot of number 10 Man United jerseys, and I think that's the man. I think it's Rooney. Rooney, he's the guy. He's the X factor, and if he can find the back of the net, United will come away with the 3 points.
Well, we are out here at Fado Irish Pub getting set for the match. A great crowd of mostly red shirts has showed up today, guys. It's great to see all of you. They're here to cheer United onto a win. Am I right? Of course I'm right.
There are an awful lot of red jerseys.
We want you to go ahead and come out and meet us out here. They've got great specials this morning. $4 Irish coffees, $3 mimosas, $3 Bloody Marys, and great brunch specials all morning long. We'll be out here watching the match, and of course the bet, loser of this match has to have the opposing team's
there's going to be
logo
paint, there's going to be some singing, and then we're going to have some video evidence of that, and we're going to post it on Facebook.
Yeah, whatever the result, I'm the real loser because I have to see it.
I'm telling you,
somebody's going to have to film it.
It's not going to matter because I don't have anything to worry about. I'm telling you, Justin. I just feel bad for you.
I know you thought that, so I brought you an extra T-shirt so you wouldn't ruin your jersey. As much as I dislike it, I don't want you to get it dirty because I know how much money you spent on that awful Di Maria jersey.
I don't have to worry anything about it. By the way, Di Maria on the bench for this afternoon over in England's contest. So super sub able to come in. He's done a pretty good job the last couple of weeks coming off the bench and managing to set up an assist. So we'll see. All right, guys, we're just about to get out of here. So final score predictions coming up here.
3-1 City. City till I die.
Kit?
2-1 to the Reds.
All right. I think that the guys here will like that. Zach Christo back in the studio. Zach, you're a Manchester United fan. What's your score prediction for this one?
I can see this one being a shutout for Man U.
Oh, a clean sheet for De Gea. I got to say, I like that one. Oh, you got to love it. Hey, guys, thanks everybody who came out here to Fado this morning. It was great to see all you guys. We want you to come out. We still have MotoGP tickets to give away. We're about to do that drawing. Come out. We got tickets for the race later this afternoon that we're going to give away. So come and participate in that. That'll do it for us here. Again, you can catch us Sunday mornings, every Sunday morning at 9. We're on 104.9 The Horn. If you missed anything today, you can catch us on SoundCloud. Search for The Throw-In. We also have Facebook now at this point. You can find us there on The Throw-In as well. And guys, thanks for coming out this morning. Go United.
As always, go City.
We'll see it. All right, hey, we'll catch you next week here on The Throw-In on 104.9 The Horn. This is where Austin talks all sports.
Hope you like jamming too. And the rules ain't no vow. We can do it anyhow. I and I will see you through. 'Cause every